racial tensions in the St. Louis area is an issue that we know about all too well. But there is a new program from a partnership of agencies that's working to bring North and South cities of St. Louis together. Here with me is SLACO's Executive Director, Kevin McKinney, and Charles Bryson, Executive Director of the Civil Rights Enforcement Agency, or CREA. So gentlemen, why do we even need to discuss racial tensions?
Well, the Neighborhoods United for Change kind of came about from the death of Mike Brown in 2014. Our organization, SLACO, we have a conference, and people came together at that conference and said, you know, really what we need to start doing is communicating from one neighborhood to the other. Let's get past these zip codes and let's start really dealing with what's the difference between living in Baden and living in Tower Grove South. What's the difference between Dutchtown and Central West End? So we started listening to our membership, listening to the people that attended our conference, and decided that we wanted to try to promote the neighborhoods to neighborhoods and try to promote communicating one to the other. Our problem was we didn't have the money to do it as an organization, so we spent a year and a half doing a lot of planning and trying to fine tune some things and try to figure out where we could get some money. Because you got to pay for food, you got to pay for buses, you got to pay for printed material, you got to pay for facilitators, you know. So Charles, his organization, decided that this is something that they would really want to be a part of, and they put a RFP out for people who would want to try to do this, and we were selected. So we were able to put it together in August of this year.
So Charles, why does CREA think it's important to join forces and work with them?
One of the things that we want to do for Mayor Slay is talk about racial equity in the city of St. Louis. And part of that conversation has to be about race. And what we decided to do is let's take the civil rights issues and the human rights issues out in the community where we can have a thorough discussion of what it means in the city of St. Louis to have equal rights and equal treatment. So we selected the SLACO organization because they're rooted in the community, they're rooted in neighborhoods. They have, I believe, over 30 neighborhoods that are members. And so we said, this makes a good pairing, this makes sense for us, not just this year, but in the long term, because each and every neighborhood has people in it. So we get through the political subdivisions and focus on what truly matters, and that is the people who live in our neighborhoods throughout the city.
Now, CREA has been around for about 50 years.
Yes.
What have you been doing over the last 50 years?
Well, most of what we've been doing is enforcing civil rights, fair housing, equal employment, public accommodation, or disability. We enforce those rights from a federal level, anything on the state level, and then the city ordinances governing civil and human rights. But we wanted to expand our reach. We wanted to expand what we did because we think that in this day and age, especially where as we see civil rights are either being eroded or attacked, we wanted to have a real thorough discussion about what it means to live in St. Louis, whether you're African American, whether you're white, whether you're Bosnian, Hispanic, whatever. What does it mean to live in the city of St. Louis, and have everybody feel comfortable going and moving throughout the entire city, not just focused on their neighborhood?
What does it mean to be one of those things and living in the city of St. Louis?
Well, what we're finding out through the conversations with our neighborhoods and people that participated in the program is that they're really concerned whether they're black or white, whether they live whatever zip code they happen to live in. They got 3 or 4 basic things. They want a great education for their kids, so they want to live in areas where there are decent schools. They want decent housing, so they want to live in neighborhoods that have nice housing. They also want good jobs, and they want good paying jobs. Whether you're black or white, that's what people are asking for from Baden to the Patch. They want those 3, 4 things. And so they're moving to neighborhoods that can provide those things. They're not scared to live with people of different color. The reason that people are moving to different parts of the neighborhoods in St. Louis is because they want those 3 or 4 basic things.
Let's stop. We've got to take a quick break, but when we come back, let's talk about how your organizations have come together to try and make sure that those 4 basic things are available to everybody in St. Louis.
Sure.
All right. Stay with us at STL Live. We'll have more with SLACO after this break.